Hi guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making an extra fun dinner. It's going to be chicken ranch foil packets. So come along with me and let's get started. So this idea is originally from my father. We used to camp a lot as children, and he would also do a lot of Dutch oven cooking. And so this is originally a campsite recipe where you put all of your ingredients into foil packets, and you can cook them in the campfire, you can cook them on the barbecue grill, or as we're going to do tonight, you can cook them in the oven. So all of your ingredients go into a foil packet basically, and it gets rolled up and baked. But you could also definitely use this for camping or on your barbecue. It's very fun for kids, and of course grown-ups who like to pretend they're children sometimes. So it's very easy, and it's super delicious and actually quite nutritious, because traditionally this was made with potatoes, and we are going to be using radishes instead. So let's go ahead and get started. So to begin our chicken ranch foil packets, we need about 5 slices of bacon. And you can of course use regular bacon or bacon crumbles, whatever is most convenient for you. And we're just gonna kind of leave that on about medium-low. And to that, we are going to add 2 bunches of radishes cut into little sections. Because in the original recipe, my dad would always use potatoes, of course, because we're from Idaho, but potatoes aren't ketogenic. So I'm going to be using radishes in its place, and I like the color these provide because they're almost like red potatoes. So I'm going to put those into my bacon drippings and just kind of let them slowly just take on some of that bacon flavor, because radishes are fairly bland. They have a bit of a backbite. They are a root vegetable, but they are fairly bland, so they work well in this recipe, and they take on the flavor that you provide for them. So we're just going to kind of let them hang out in our bacon drippings for a little while we go to our next step. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to prepare our ranch powder. Now, traditionally, ranch powder is, of course, you tear open a packet of Hidden Valley or some other pre-prepared ranch seasoning blend. However, most of those pre-prepared packets have a lot of fillers. Cornstarch, dextrose, potato starch, other things that aren't very ketogenically friendly, not to mention just aren't really that healthy in the first place. So I am just going to make a ranch powder out of ranch seasonings. So that's basically herbs. The first thing that we need is 2 tablespoons of dried tarragon, which is basically this entire little tiny container. Now we're not going to be using the entire ranch blend that I'm creating. You're going to be able to save this and use it at a later date. Next thing we need is 2 tablespoons of parsley. So that's 2 tablespoons of parsley. Then we also need 2 tablespoons of dried dill or dill weed. So we've got 2 tablespoons of dill. We also need a tablespoon of garlic powder. Spoon isn't going to fit in there, so okay. We also need a tablespoon of onion powder. We need a tablespoon of sea salt, and I'm just going to be using pink Himalayan salt. And then we need a half a tablespoon of black pepper. Okay, so that is our ranch seasoning blend. So we're just going to combine that, and that will be ready for us to put into our ranch butter, which is going to go over the top of our chicken foil packets in order to make it ranch chicken. So this is going to give us that nice ranch flavor without all of the fillers. And I'm going to use my spatula just to make sure that everything is evenly combined. And like I said, we will not be using this entire blend. This should last you several recipes. Now our radishes have hung out with our bacon grease. So they've taken on that yummy bacony flavor. So now we are going to prepare our foil packets. You need to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. So I have 4 sheets of foil here. And these are about 14 to 16 inches. And I have 4 of them, and I'm going to lightly spray them with some avocado oil spray, just to make sure that nothing sticks. And I'm going to show you one at a time. Started on this is to make our ranch butter. So we are going to be using our prepared ranch seasoning, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it in my little container here. So this is 6 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm going to take our ranch seasoning blend, and I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons in our melted butter. And I'm just going to stir that around to blend it up. Now our ranch butter is ready to go. So now we can begin making our foil packets. So to begin each packet, this is going to make 4 packets. So you need 1/4 of these radishes. And you don't have to be like super precise or anything. Try and get it, you know, fairly even. And we are going to take our bacon radishes and place them on the bottom of our foil packet, trying to distribute the bacon as evenly as you can. Okay. Now to this, we are going to add a little bit of our butter ranch. Just a little. Because we need to reserve some for our chicken. Now on top of our little pile of faux potatoes here, we are going to place 2 chicken thighs. You can use breast in this, but it will be a bit drier, and of course breast is less fatty, so it's not as ketogenic as if you were using thighs. So I have 8 thighs here. So you're just going to lay those thighs on top. And we want to season these just a little bit so they're not too bland, and we want some salt, of course. A little bit of pepper. And then at this point, we are going to use a little bit more of our ranch seasoning that we prepared. And we're just going to sprinkle that on top of our chicken, just to give it some really nice flavor. Because we want these to be nicely seasoned. Okay, now at this point, we are going to roll it up, because we don't want anything yummy to escape. So we're just going to make nice little pockets of these. Now after these have baked in our 425 degree oven for about 40 minutes or so, we're going to open them up, and then we're going to put a few additional ingredients in them just to make them extra special. So there's 1 pouch, and this is going to make 4. So here are our 4 pouches, and I'm just putting them on a baking tray just in case any of our yummy juices leak out, it won't leak into the bottom of my oven. So these are going into a preheated 425-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then we're going to add a few more things to them after that. So come on back in about 45 minutes. Okay, these have been in for 45 minutes. I went ahead and opened them up, and I drained some of the liquid off because once again we are dealing with radishes and not potatoes, so they are going to create a bit of liquid compared to if you were using a potato. So I just opened up the foil packets and drained them off a little bit. So our next step for our foil packets is we are going to be putting a little bit of cheese on each one. And you can use whatever kind of cheese you would like. I'm using cheddar. And then I'm also going to be putting some chives. And chives are like the packet that I have here says they're a mild-mannered onion. If you can't find chives, they're usually in the grocery store with the salads. You could use dried chives if you wished, or you could also chop up a few spring onions or green onions if you wanted that instead. But chives give it a nice mild onion flavor. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on the top of each one, and I'm going to reserve a little bit for serving. Okay, so I have cheesed and chived them, and I'm going to put them back in our oven for about 10 minutes, or however long it takes our cheese to melt all the way. Okay, here they are. Cheese is all melted. I'm going to plate these up and we can eat dinner. Are you ready?
Hi.
Hi, CJ.
Take 32.
You mean you don't want the coughing child in the background?
No, it sounds like she's
That's
coughing.
the soundtrack?
Sounds like she's coughing up a lung.
Typhoid Mary. So, tonight we are having something different and fun. This is chicken ranch foil packets. And
Yeah.
you have doctored yours with sour cream, right?
Yes, I have. I put sour cream on it. So let's see how it tastes. Okay, so the first thing I was concerned about was the radishes. Whether or not they were going to still taste, whether or not they were going to taste like radishes, or whether or not they were going to taste like just neutral, or like the bacon.
Potato stunt doubles.
Right, and they taste neutral.
Good.
We have another recipe where we use radishes instead of potatoes. It tastes a little bit of radish, but it's not like you're eating a raw radish or anything like that.
It's not as peppery.
No, it's not. So this is good. That whole ranch thing, I thought you were gonna make like ranch dressing. So I didn't.
You normally would do that, but it has a great deal of starch and carbohydrates.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just talking and saying, when you talked about ranch, I thought that's what that was gonna end up being. I didn't realize it would just be the seasoning. I didn't know that's what seasoning went into ranch. So anyway, it's really good. I think people will like it. It's fairly easy to make.
And you could do different variations too. You could do this with salmon and cauliflower rice. You know, you can just let your imagination go crazy because lots of things can go in a foil pouch, and it does make everything cook up tender.
Yeah, the chicken is really tender. We were wondering if it would be done. It looks done, so it's not moving.
Yay.
Actually, it is done. And so it's good. And I don't know if I really need the sour cream.
Okay.
Feels like the sour cream actually might be taken away from
Okay, good to know.
the flavor a little bit. But that's just a personal choice.
Okay.
Thanks for making it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you enjoy this fun dish. I know that we sure will. Please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we upload new content. If you would like any nutritional information, full printable recipes, macros, anything else that you need for this particular recipe, and also other recipe ideas, that can always be found on our food blog, and that is cjsketokitchen.com. We're also on social media. We're on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, anything you can possibly imagine. We're there, and that's also CJ's Keto Kitchen. We also have Keto Conversations on Wednesdays, and we upload our new recipes every Sunday. So come on back and see us again, and we'll see you next time.